Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Right back here on WagerTalk TV with your NBA playoff Fade the Public edition for Game 2 of the NBA Finals this Sunday night, June the 4th, 8 o'clock Eastern. Going to take a deep dive on both the side and total and some player props as well here on this video. And also let you know where the public, at least the initial public money is as we head into the weekend here for Game 2 on Sunday night. A quick reminder, NBA season is winding down, and boy, has it been a great NBA season to say the least. Overall in the playoffs now, 22 and 13, 63% after hitting that game one best bet winner, the Denver Nuggets Thursday night for my clients at Wager Talk. Overall in the season now, of the year actually, 2023, 74 and 47, 89 units won in the NBA. So pay attention to the next couple of weeks for the rest of the NBA Finals, my strong best bets. But don't forget about baseball on a daily basis over the next several months in the summer here. Baseball is the moneymaker. I also post free plays on a daily basis at wagertalk.com. So check out the free daily plays and get the best bets as well and save money while you do so. How would you like to get the next 30 days and nights of all sports for just $6.50 a day? You can do so right now with the summer special. It's an instant $100 discount on a 30-day package. Normally $299, it comes out to just $198. That works out to just $6.50 a day for every basketball and baseball best bet for the next 30 days and nights. No promo code needed. Sign up right now and get some strong winners for Saturday and Sunday. Steve Merrill, wagertalk.com. Okay, let's first look at the public information for games one and two. And the reason I want to mention game one is because the public was on Miami, about 60% public consensus on the Miami Heat. And of course, that's not a surprise. The public was on Miami in almost every game against the Celtics. In fact, they were on them big as a dog in game three and in game five, especially. Came up a little short in game five, came back with them in game six and missed, but they also had them in game seven and they cashed, came right back with Miami in game one. And the public, once again, looks like they're siding towards the Heat in game two. They just have been on the Heat for several weeks now and they've made money. So even though they lost in game one, public looks like they'll probably be on Miami in game two Sunday night. Also, a little bit of a lean towards the over. Nothing crazy. We saw a bigger lean in game one towards the over, a little less public money now in game two. And it's understandable because game one stayed well under the total by over 20 points, closed around 219, landed at 197. And the odds makers have made an adjustment here for game two. The total's around 214.5. Point spread was 9 for game one. Now it's 8.5. So even though Denver won and covered, point spread's a little bit lower because I think a lot of people knew what a terrible spot it was for Denver in for Miami in game one. I knew it. My clients knew it. And that's why we had a best bet on Denver. Because keep in mind, Nuggets have been off for 9 full days at home after sweeping the Lakers the previous Monday. Heat, meanwhile, had to travel with just 2 days rest from Boston, Miami, back out to Denver to play game one in the thin air and altitude. So it was a very difficult spot. And Miami obviously was thoroughly outplayed the first three quarters of that game. They were down by 21 points heading into the fourth quarter. Denver somewhat took their foot off the gas. And as Miami has done all postseason, they came back from a big double digit deficit to make the game competitive. In fact, they instantly scored the first 11 points of the fourth quarter and cut the margin down to 10. They actually got it down to as low as 9 middle of the fourth quarter, which was the point spread. And then Denver held on to be up by 13 to 14, ended up winning by 11. So it got dicey there. Even though I thought Denver was the right side, was going to be an easy winner, should have been an easy winner. Came close there. Miami started to hit some threes in the fourth quarter. And in fact, Miami on the game in game one had 15 points more from 3-point range and still lost by 11. That's a bad sign if you're a Miami backer going forward. And that's why I do think Denver is going to win this series. In fact, the Nuggets had a 20-2 free throw advantage in game one. Miami Heat had 2 free throw attempts. That's an NBA Finals low record. So you do have to expect the officials probably are going to give Miami a few more calls here in game two. And I know Denver's got a lot of size edge down low, but Miami actually had more free throw attempts in both regular season meetings. They had 50 free throw attempts in the 2 regular season meetings. Denver only had 37. So that was a real anomaly, I think, in game one. I do look for Miami to get more free throw attempts. That could make them more competitive in game two. I do think the Heat will win either game two or game three. It's hard for me to fade Denver because I think they have the matchup, a huge matchup edge down low with height. So if Miami does get down 0-2 in this series, game three would probably be the one they're going to have to get to make this series competitive if they don't steal game two. I think the best bet right now is probably Denver in 5 to win this 4-1 back at home in game five next week. As far as the side in total, a little bit deep before we get to player props, I mentioned the fact that Miami had the 3-point edge but still lost by 11. That is a concern if you're a Miami Heat backer. And that's because Denver had a big edge down low, plus 14 from the free throw line and points scored. And they were plus 12 from 2-point range, 6 extra 2-point baskets. So Denver was plus 26 points from 2-point range in the free throw line, the interior scoring. Miami made more threes, had a higher shooting percentage from three, and had less turnovers and still lost by double digits. So that's the concern for the Heat, and that's why I don't see them winning the series. Whether they're more competitive or not on game two, the public does think they will be, and the public is also leaning over, as I mentioned. All right, let's look at some player props now. And I'd love the player props in the NBA Finals because once again, we've had the whole playoffs to look at. We get the adjustments from one game to the next. Let's talk about some guys that vastly underachieved. Max Strus for Miami, 0 for 10 shooting, 21 minutes, no points scored, 0 for 9 from 3-point range. But this is a guy that's been up and down basically the entire playoffs. The player zigzag, as we've talked about, has worked with Strus. So I look for him to have a better game here. Might want to look at some over props. Miami's also going to have to take more threes because once again, they just don't have a chance scoring down low against that Denver size. Two free throw attempts, as I mentioned, NBA Finals record low. Part of that reason is because Jimmy Butler didn't take the ball to the hoop like he's capable of doing. 38 minutes played, only had 13 points. Really bad effort. Only 14 field goal attempts. Keep in mind, he had a bad game against the Celtics in game five last week. Had only 14 points, only 10 field goal attempts. He came out and put up 52 points on 49 field goal attempts in game six and seven. So Butler coming off a subpar effort game. I look for him to step up. I think some Butler over props could be worth a look as well. Caleb Martin very well could have been the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals. Had a monster game six and seven with 47 points combined, 29 field goal attempts in game six and seven against the Celtics. Had only 3 points and was 1 for 7 shooting. You do expect a better effort from him. He only took 2 3-pointers, though. I'm a little lukewarm on Caleb Martin, though. This is a guy that was an undrafted free agent. And he's not a all-star caliber player like he's been playing recently. So Strus and Butler, I think, have more upside if you're looking at some Miami Heat props. One guy that had a really good game, Bam Adebayo. By the way, if you don't know why his nickname is Bam, he watched the Flintstones at age 1, flipped the table over. They started calling him Bam Bam right after that. You got to like that nickname. One of the best in sports. 26 points, 25 field goal attempts. He had only 10 field goal attempts in game seven against the Celtics. Normally, you'd look for him to regress a bit, but the fact that Denver's going to try to take away the 3-point shot from Miami, I think Bam can still have some success down low. So I would not look to zigzag his player prop. I do think Butler and Strus, though, should have an upside after poor game ones. Let's switch over to Denver now. Jokic, the human triple double, minus money once again to have a triple double. Not a surprise. This guy's now had triple doubles. I believe it's 6 of the last 7, or actually, I'm sorry, I think it's 7 of the last 8, even maybe playoff games going way back to the series against the Suns. In fact, yeah, he had a double double in both games against Suns, the last 2, and he had them in 3 of the 4 Laker games, and he had one again on game 1 on Thursday. So that is now 6 of the last 7. He's had a double double. He'll likely do it again. By the way, he barely got there. He had 9 rebounds going into the fourth quarter and didn't get the 10th one till late in the game. He was 1 for 2 from 3-point range. He is now shooting 47% in the playoffs from 3-point range. And he's had double digits assists in 6 of those last 7 games as a 6'8", 280-pound, sorry, 6'11", 280-pound center. The best passing big man I've seen in recent history, if not ever. Jamal Murray and Jokic both had a double-double in the NBA Finals Game 1. Last time teammates had done that was 1987 with the Lakers, Magic Johnson and James Worthy. So this is a tough team for Miami to shut down. And I think the player props will continue to cash. Not a lot of value with Jokic props over, though, because it's already priced in. I believe his points, rebounds, assists is like 51.5 last I checked. Aaron Gordon's a guy I was looking to play over 21.5 points, rebounds, assists. He had a big game with 23 points, rebounds, assists against the Heat, but they somewhat shut him down in game 2. And at 6'8", I think they can somewhat contain him. The guy I think is going to benefit, and with the prop I'm going to recommend to you here in this video, is Michael Porter Jr. over points, rebounds, assists, whatever you want to do. But I think points, rebounds, assists over 24.5 for Michael Porter Jr. is the best approach. This is a guy that was the National High School Player of the Year in 2017, McDonald's All-American. Really talented player. First-round pick, 14th overall in 2018. Doesn't get a lot of pub because of Murray, because of Jokic, even Aaron Gordon. Michael Porter Jr. is a really good basketball player, and I just don't think Miami has an answer for him. And with 2 other big guys in Gordon and Jokic as well, Porter's going to continue to sneak in and get a lot of points and rebounds. He had 13 rebounds in game 1, 14 points, 1 assist. His points and rebounds, I believe, is around 20.5. Points are about 22, 23 at last I checked. In fact, I'll pull it up to be accurate here, but they're not giving him the tendency to have more than a couple assists is my point. So you look at player rebounds right now. for Porter Jr. He's at 8.5 juice to the under. You look at player points, he is right now at about 15.5. So that's around 23.5, 24 on points and rebounds aside. So once again, they only factor into like one assist. He's actually been getting more than that on average. He had one assist the last two games, but he had 6 assists in game 3 against the Lakers and 3 in game 2. So instead of points and rebounds, I do points, rebounds, assist over for Michael Porter Jr. over 24.5. Lay a little juice, it's around -150, but I like that bet. I think he'll continue to dominate. 6'10", and they just don't have an answer for these big guys, and that's why I think Miami's in trouble in the series overall as a general thought here. Let me know your thoughts on the player props, where you see some value in game 2, also the side and total, and let me know the series outlook. Look, Miami was about a 3-1 dog when the series began. We all knew it was a bad spot for them in game 1. Now they're a 6-1 underdog to win the series. So if you think they're live still, Teddy Covers and I talked about this last week on Wager Talk Today. Might as well wait to play the series price in game 2. So who in the live chat, let me know in the comments below, think that the Heat are still alive, because you're getting a 6-1 payout now. I do think they're going to win either game 2 or 3. I could see that happening. I think it's going to be a 4-1 series. I just think Denver, the deeper, more talented team. One other thing I wanted to point out too, home road dichotomy. Miami is now 23-29 on the road this year versus 34-17 at home. They've been a much stronger home team straight up. Denver 43-7 at home and just 23-25 away. But they are 3-0 straight up in ATS their last 3 playoff games on the road. So they've been pretty good recently. But once again, another reason that Miami doesn't steal game 2, you could see them winning game 3 next week to at least make the series somewhat competitive. All right, leave some comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the series, where you think the best bets are. Let's win together. Give the video a thumbs, a like if you found it useful. And most importantly, hit subscribe if you haven't already done so. And make sure you hit that bell for instant alerts when videos and shows like this weekend content goes live here on Wager Talk TV. I'll be guest hosting Wager Talk Today next Monday through Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern here on the network. Check out the baseball and basketball shows on a daily basis as well. And don't forget, I know we're talking NBA Finals. I know I've had a fantastic basketball season. In fact, 2023 alone, 74-47, 61% of the NBA sides and totals, 22-13, 63% in the NBA playoffs already. Strong best bets for games 2, 3, 4 still remain. But why not get it with baseball and get that 30-day all sports special and save an instant $100 discount? In fact, it's a $101 discount to be exact, because it's normally $299. You get it right now for just $198. It's every basketball and baseball replay I've released for the next 30 days and nights for just $6.50 a day. MLB is fantastic this time of the year. We're exactly 1/3 of the way through the season. We still have 2/3 to go, so there's a lot of money to be made in MLB. And don't forget to check out my daily free plays as well on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games. Comment below and check back every day and night here on Wager Talk TV for some great content. Best of luck this weekend. I'll talk to you again soon.